India has the global companies to submit the proposals for 110 fighter jet aircrafts, the world's biggest such order currently in place. The Indian Air Force sought requests for information for the supply of single and the twin-seat jets to be mostly manufactured locally, it said in a statement on its website. The Asian nation had earlier scrapped the deal to buy 126 fighter jet aircraft from Dassault Aviation's SA and instead opted to import 36 Rafale aircraft. The order announced on the Friday could be worth at least $15 billion and will be the world's largest fighter jet aircraft deal, said Rahul Bedi, a New Delhi-based analyst. At least 85% of the jets, 3/4 of which are single-seat aircraft and the rest will be twin-seat, had to be made in India, and manufacturer interested in bidding needs to be sent to their proposals by July 6, according to the Government of India. Getting new aircraft is crucial for Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India, as the South Asian nations faces increased risk from the neighboring Pakistan and China, at the time when the Russian MiG fighters, India's mainstay, are being phased out. The country's Air Force and the Navy requires as many as 400 single and double-engine combat aircraft, according to the government. The first aircraft must be delivered within 3 to 2 years of signing the contract. The South Asian country started looking for a new battle plane in 2007, a contest that ended with the government selecting Dassault Aviation's of 136 Rafale jets for $11 billion. With talks on styling overpriced and quality guarantees, the government scrapped the purchase in 2015 and bought 36 jets separately to speed up the process. India was revising the specifications to allow manufacturing, such as Boeing Co. and United Aircraft Corporations, to pitch their twin-engine combat aircraft in the deal. People familiar with the matter said in February that Modi wants to modernize the country's aging military equipment with $250 billion spending, but it has been bogged down by the defense procurement process, which is known for delays, backtracking, and a history of corruption, making it sensitive, slow-going process. So what do you think of India seeking a $15 billion fighter jet orders of the world's largest deal ever? As Modi is only concentrating on the defense of India, which is really need for India, but that doesn't make sense that India doesn't need any jobs or doesn't need any economic reforms to do. But Modi does considers only on defense equipments to be upgraded, not anything on related to jobs or related to farmers or related to economy. India can seize the opportunity to provide an alternative investment hub for the American companies which are downgrading their operation in China. US Ambassador Kenny Jester said on Thursday, while he pitched for bilateral FTA as the next big-ticket item. Delivering his first policy speech since taking over as the ambassador to India, Jester identified 5 pillars to take Indo-US partnership forward: stronger defense ties, strategic economic relationships, energy environment, inclusive development, and cooperation in the region. US Envoy in particularly emphasized on its India's role into Indo-Pacific region and opportunities in the economic partnership. India needs to take a strategic view of the economic relationship so as a roadmap for FTA could be laid. On pointing out America's first and Make in India are not incompatible, Justice said rather than investing in each other's market will be mutually beneficial. It will increase economic interactions and volume of trade, lead to the collaboration on emerging technologies, and create jobs in both the countries, he noted. But let me go through further and suggest that this is the time to put a strategic lens in our or on our economic relationship, just we have done with our defense relationship, he said. The speech was organized by the Canaries India, the India chapter of noted US think tank. Chester informed that a number of US companies have reported increasingly difficulties in conducting businesses in the large market in the region, as is China. Accordingly, some companies are downgrading their operations there, while others are looking with great interest at the alternative markets, India can seize the strategic opportunity through trade and investment to become an alternative hub for US business in the Indo-Pacific region. Bilateral trade has increased from approximately $20 billion in 2001 to $115 billion in 2016. The US envoy, however, expressed the concerns about the persistent state deficits, including the one the US has with India. He said the US want to work with India to expeditiously resolve the trade and investment dispute. Referring to the defense ties, Justice said, "Perhaps in the next year we can announce some major agreements like the fighter jets, advanced helicopters, unmanned ground vehicles, and intelligence exchanges." He in fact suggested taking Indo-US military cooperations to entirely to a new level, reciprocally posting liaisons officers at each other's operational or combat commands. When asked about the China-US ties, Justin noted, "We are interested in a constructive relationship, but if they engage in the predatory economic policies and other things, there would be no reactions, or will be reactions." So what do you think of US putting India ahead of China, and US wants India to take the opportunity to avoid China out of the world of US?
India will be investing about $1 trillion to really make our energy and electricity infrastructure world class. And while we do that, we are also changing the energy mix. A large part of our focus today is to encourage renewables, to look at energy conservation. And I'm delighted to share with you that last year was the first year where our capacity increase, installed capacity increase in renewables was more than our increase in conventional forms of energy. I remember 3 years ago, solar power in India was about 12 cents for a unit of energy. We scaled up that program massively. In fact, the growth in the last 3 years has been 370% in solar energy installed capacity. And today we have the last bidding of solar power at 4 cents per unit of electricity, down by 60%. And that only encourages us to look at even more bigger and bolder targets. Unless the people aspire for a good quality of life, it's very difficult to really take the fruits of development to the people. And unless you have very strong leadership which is committed to serving those aspirations, one can never really get this kind of transformational results. And I do believe that if the commitments that were made at Paris, particularly around access to technology, around access to low-cost, long-tenor finance, are fulfilled by the world collectively, I see no challenge. There would be the typical local issues like availability of land. There would be concerns about integrating the grid with this large capacities of renewables, but we can address all of them. We are working to address them. That's a local issue. But certainly we will look for the collective effort of the world. I have on more occasion than one discussed with world leaders that it's time that the world collectively decides that wherever technologies are focused towards a safer planet, we must try and make that open access technology. We must try and make it available to the whole world so that we can encourage clean energy, encourage sustainability while making it more affordable. If we believe in it and we work towards it, collectively, all of us can make a difference. We are creating a platform which will not entail any direct action or financing, but will become a catalyst to bring the latest of technologies, to bring finance, to bring new ideas, ways of implementation, and bring all the solar-rich countries around the world, which are between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. About 121 countries we are trying to bring together on the International Solar Alliance platform to help and assist each other and work together as partners to make this dream of sustainability and poverty elevation, eradication come true.
In Gidaware, on the shores of Lake Balangida in northern Tanzania, access to clean water can be a challenge.
Maji hapa ni ya shida sana. hasa sisi akina mama tunahangaika sana. Tunapatia kule, kuna mto fulani umeshuka kutoka kule juu kule kanda ya juu kule. Unapita hivi, lakini kuna wakati maji yanakauka.
There are boreholes, but the diesel generators needed to pump the water are expensive to maintain and need a constant supply of costly diesel. So now, in parts of Tanzania, communities are installing solar panels to provide clean and sustainable energy to pump water. The initial cost of the solar system is higher, but once installed, they need very little maintenance and, of course, no fuel. So they end up being a much more cost-effective solution.
Tulikuwa na hali mbaya ya maji. Tunahemea maji zaidi ya kilomita 4. Na kwa wale wanaotuletea maji kwa baiskeli tunanunua ndoo 3 kwa shilingi 1000, kwa maana ya ndoo moja ni shilingi 350. Na mfumo huu wa sola inayotegemea mwanga wa jua tumefaidika sana, tena sana, na wananchi wanashukuru. Ndoo kwa sasa tunauza kwa shilingi 35 kutoka 350.
Now that communities are paying a fair and sustainable price for water, they need systems to gather the revenue. These smart water dispensers allow communities to manage their own water resources by saving money for maintenance, repairs, and expansion. Credit is loaded onto a card through mobile money or at a kiosk, and water is then dispensed by the litre at the community-agreed price. The system can include a simple chlorinator to help make the water safe for drinking.
Na kweli karibu watu wengi wameelekea mfumo huu wa maji safi na salama. Pia imewasaidia hata wanajamii wetu kupunguza matatizo mengine ya homa ya matumbo, bakteria, na hata typhoid kidogo imepungua kutokana na matumizi hayo ya maji safi na salama.
The system can even be remotely monitored, helping to plan servicing and maintenance.
Kweli mradi umekuwa ni mzuri, na kama utasimamiwa vizuri nadhani utaelekea katika kuleta maendeleo katika kijiji chetu. Na nadhani watu wanapata maji, watu wataboresha afya zao, na pia watu watakuwa na maendeleo.
Post your comments below, and if you like this video, please give a thumbs up, and follow us on social networks, and subscribe to our channel. And thanks for watching. This is WC Daily. Think big, think different. Bye.
You